My challenge for you guys this week, as we leave church and go back to our normal lives, is to be obedient to the Holy Spirit. I believe the Holy Spirit, once we accept Christ, lives inside of us and is acting upon our conscience. It's that little voice in our head that we hear so often when we're faced with a decision. And too often I try to justify my actions to this voice, saying, quiet down. I got this. I can do this. It's not wrong because of this or that, or it's going to turn out different than last time I tried this thing. How stupid of me. But the Holy Spirit knows, it's not going to turn out different than last time. It's going to turn out much the same, and it's not going to turn out how you think it will. It's going to turn out for worse. It's going to be painful, destructive, probably another thing you regret in your life that you wish you could change, and that you tell your children one day, don't make these same mistakes that I made, because you know. So as you're facing a decision, as we're all facing decisions this week, allow us to be more obedient to the Spirit's leading. When we hear that little voice, instead of just quieting it, justifying our actions, take the time to actually consider what it's saying and to just breathe. Give yourself a moment to think, okay, what does God say about this action? That thing I brought up earlier, who's being honored by this? Is God being honored by my decision, or am I really doing this for myself? That's another way to get in line with the Spirit's thinking in our lives. And I can't tell you specifically what this will look like for you this week. I wish that I could, but I can't. Really, all of us have a different walk with Christ and are at different places in our lives. And so for one person to be obedient to the Spirit's calling will look different than another's. But really, all of us are called to be holy and to be obedient to God through the leading of the Holy Spirit in our lives. And another encouragement I can give is to take time to pray this week. Pray for God's will in your life. Pray that God would speak to you in those times, in those moments, that he would give you the discernment to know between right and wrong, and then the self-control to act upon that, to be self-controlled like this passage talks about. I believe that God would be so delighted in us if he hears those prayers from us, his children, this week. Just like a parent when the child comes up to them and actually listens to the advice that they have for them. God would be overjoyed to hear these things from us. So before we go out, what things have you been holding on to in your life that you feel the Spirit calling you to let go of and give God the control of? Will you allow God to change the desires of your heart from impure things to the things of God? Will you allow God to change you from the inside out through the power of the Holy Spirit? Because if you seek that, if you pray that, I know that he is faithful and he will sanctify you and he will sanctify me. And you will see that God's plan for your life was better all along than ours ever could have been.